Undisputed, we're the undisputed ones.
We are live at the CompuBox Academy. The time is now. It's the Mexican Roy Jones Jr., one of the greatest of all time.
This bout is scheduled.
One of the hottest tickets around. It's standing room only for this. These two fighters promised us an offensive show. Let's see if they deliver. They're both trying for a knockout. Insane action. Which fighter will say no mas? And this one has all of those big fight feels you want from a prize fight. Here we go.
You have certain fighters that are born for this, that are made for the big crowd. And looking at that corner right there, that is that fighter right there. They have elevated, lifted, it's like they're not touching the ground. This is what they were born for.
Just when you think they're going to have a lull in the action, we get it heated back up. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. You'd like to see more jabs. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Some nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
If you're a counter puncher, then basically you do the counter attack. You let them get their punch off first, and then you answer in kind.
Counter puncher is my favorite kind of fighter. A good counter puncher, they're the people that make the history of our sport.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. It's bombs away. Punch output. Thought there might be more action here. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. They exchange punches. And he scores with the counter. Couldn't land that jab. That counter punch caught him clean. Let's talk about Benavidez that last round. I promise you, all three judges here are going to give on to the second round. Coming off that fantastic last round, let's see if he can keep his momentum going.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Fighter believes in the anything you can do, I can do better. They'll let you throw a punch first, and they'll answer you and usually hit you harder.
They have got great ring IQ. Counter punches are the best.
Look at the hand speed and footwork between these two elite level middleweights. Block the left there. Nice counter punch right up the middle. Caution is being thrown to the wind. Beautiful. Beautiful counter shot. Should we be surprised if these two fighters go the distance tonight, considering how much they've emphasized their physical fitness? Halfway through the round, and it's pretty much even Steven.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
This is the kind of fight you expect from two world-class elite middleweights. One punch could change the entire complexion of this fight. This is a high-octane battle. The jab not finding its target. Both men step back for just a moment. The straight right just misses. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Talk about David Benavidez in that last round. Well, there was no doubt about who won that round.
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on.
Come on.
And there's the bell for round 3. Coming off that great round, let's see if they can build on momentum here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Well, Johnny, I know it's still early on, but have you been surprised by anything you've seen?
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
They're both going for the KO. It's so obvious. Perfect punch. Well, Johnny, we're a couple rounds in. What are you seeing so far?
I've seen some aggressive fighters like this, and they are a nightmare. If you are not fit, that is the worst place to be, having second thoughts in the ring.
And down goes Jones Jr. And you can see here his face basically melts into his glove, and down he goes.
Shot from the gods, they say. A shot from the gods.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me your blood.
So they'll make it up, and this fight continues.
He's up, but for how long? Look at it. On the heels. Look at it. There's nothing there. There's no defense. The eyes are glazed. He just takes one more clear shot. A clean one. And he's out of there.
They got to pick things up halfway through the round here.
There's a lot of work to do, and you know what? It's hard to pull back. Don't get into the habit of losing. Don't get into the habit of being second place. You've got to change the habit. You've got to change something, because otherwise, why should it change?
Another scoring shot there. Catch and shoot. The straight right just misses. Beautiful counter punch. Good counter punch. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Punch, counter punch. It looks like he's going to survive the round here, but just barely. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. He's been knocked down, but
Don't worry about it.
back at it in round 4. They really got banged up last round. What can they do here to change the momentum?
That knockdown we just saw was a heavy knockdown. I'd be very, very surprised if he'll come out fresh as a daisy. That's not going to happen. He's got to hustle now. He's got to bluff him.
The old adage is no matter how much speed you've got, timing beats speed.
The middleweights are the best you can ever come across. Obviously, the glamour weight is a heavyweight, but the middleweight is the size of the average man or woman. When you get in there and you're letting the shots go, you've got power, you've got speed, you've got pace. You can stand, you can dance, you can do everything. We can look back in history. You know the amazing fights at middleweight are ridiculous. That is what writes our history books.
By the way, the connect percentages have to be off the charts. Big swing and a miss with the hook. You've seen all the famous boxing movies, the training scenes, the gym work. That's what it all boils down to. Who's going to have more endurance?
Middleweight always gives us a class. If you've got 2 class middleweight fighters, you are in for action. I'm quite sure right now, if you know your boxing, there's a certain fighter, Mr. I would just say marvelous, but some fighters were unbelievable middleweight.
Halfway through the round, and man, these two are going at it.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
You believe what we are seeing. When are we going to see a jab from these two? What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there. They want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a tell. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to frustrate them as they set their shots. Get out of the way. And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about David Benavidez that last round. Well, it's no secret who has the advantage after that last round.
I need you to win this round. Get your mind back.
Time for the 5th round. Well, there's no doubt about who won that last round. Let's see what he has for us here in the next one.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Fantastic punch. Those counter punches have to hurt. Nice work to block that right uppercut. When you're a power puncher, you're not as concerned with how many punches you throw. It's about how many you land and how hard they are.
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you hit and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
You'd like to see more jabs. halfway through the round, and I don't know who's got the advantage. Great stuff.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Misses with the straight left. He misses with that straight left. The work rate is down. The head isn't moving as well, Johnny. Fatigue is starting to set in.
Now this is about desire. This is about character. This is about want.
That uppercut doesn't land. Threw the uppercut but did not score. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about David Benavidez in that last round. Well, this is the time that the trainer needs to come in and say something special. This fighter... Here we go in the 6th round. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Endurance is becoming a factor. You can see this fighter having a hard time getting out of the way of the punches, and they're not throwing as many on their own.
Look back in the history books. Some of the best fighters in the world were the middleweights. Yes, the glamour division is the heavyweights, we know. But I'm telling you now, you look right there. These guys are on it. Fast, sharp, powerful. But it hurts, and you can imagine that being you. They're the size of an average man.
Some of the best action I've seen in any round, anywhere this year. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. His stamina is off the charts. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when I've done in the ring with fights like that, when you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Well done with that counter shot. When are we going to see a jab from these two? Both men step back for just a moment. He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. Got to let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Benavidez that last round. There's the bell to start round 7. Last round, complete domination. Let's see what we have in store for us here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
You can tell one of these fighters is starting to fade. What does he need to do to get back in this contest?
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym, you can do it in a fight. They've got to relax.
They both want the knockout. Through the straight left, but it won't score. One of the best attributes to have in boxing has nothing to do with boxing. It's how well you can take a punch to the face.
What a gift. What a gift it is to have a chin where you know you can walk through anything and everything. When you let those shots go and it's just bouncing off and they're walking you down, it's so demoralizing. It absolutely breaks your heart. What else can you do?
What a round so far as we've reached the halfway point.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. You'd like to see more jabs. This fighter is not interested in throwing one shot at a time. They throw combinations, and they throw them non-stop.
So you're getting in there with somebody that's so fast, you're prepared to take a licking because you've got to get some before you get in close.
You couldn't write a script like this. This is like Rocky versus Apollo. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Stamina is always an issue in a prize fight.
It's when you talk about championship.
Round 8, and we're off again. They let it all hang out in the last round. What do they got left? It looked great live. How will it look again on slow motion replay?
I've got to see that again.
So it's onward and upward after a knockout win here.
A knockout victory? That's not a knockout victory. That is somebody saying, I'm here, I've arrived. Try that again, it will happen all over again.